Hey everybody, welcome back. Brian Averett with Photo Day Zombies, and today we're going to touch on the sports photo automation from Pixnub. In this tutorial, we're just going to touch base on the SPA tool or the sports photo automation from Pixnub. If you're not familiar with it, if you've never heard of Pixnub, I definitely advise you to check them out. It's www.pixnub.com. This is what it looks like. This is just showing the sports photo automation. However, they have a platinum subscription with a ton of plugins. You can see them all right here. They have easy green screen, face crop, the team builder, the background swapper, which I have a demo out there if you haven't seen it yet. Very nice tool. Hot folder image extractions as well as automated image extractions, workflow helper. But this is what we're going to talk about today. It's for it's a composition creation batch processing system. Instead of taking your background image and then drag and drop your extraction on there, update all the names, update the team colors, update the team logo, update the team image for your memory mates. Instead of doing all that by hand, this will automate that process. It's CSV driven. However, you don't need the CSV if you're not going to be changing anything about your template. That's what we're going to go over. So let's get started with the most basic way to use this tool that I'm aware of. And if you haven't installed it already, you pull the plugin from the downloads section. It's available for Windows and Mac, but we're going to use the Sports Photo Automation version 9.4.3. And then once you install it, it's going to be up here in your plugins. Your plugins will be right here, Sports Photo Automation. You click it and it's going to come up, and this is what it looks like. It is a paid subscription, worth every penny. Every penny. So if you don't have it activated, you'll see a little activate button here, but we're all good to go. So there's a few different buttons here, but we're just going to go straight to the batch process. So let's take a look at, give me just a second. I want to verify. So this this is what my extracts look like right now. Okay, I just have three players. This is for a soccer league that I did, but it's going to be a very short demo, and we're just going to do it with these three players. So I have a folder with my extractions in it. I have an export folder, which is where I want everything to be saved. And then I have what template that I want to throw it on. And so we're going to use the Orbit. I believe this is from Third Creative. Very powerful tools, very beautiful templates. And it's already set up how I want it to look. And I chose the white background because no matter what image I throw on there, it's kind of gonna work. So we're going to click on batch processing. And there's a lot of options here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have different videos with tutorials on how to do each of them. But today we're just going to do the most basic. We're only going to look at the top. So let's look at our player images folder. Load that up. Images only. Now this is where my extractions are. All right. So your player images folder is actually your player extraction. Select that folder. Now it's going to ask, where do you want to save? I already created my export folder, so that's where I want it to run. And then what template do I want to use? And I'm going to use my 4.5 vertical template. And that's all I got to do. And before we run that, an important thing about the sports photo automation is that you will see a player with a rectangle around the head. What it's going to do is going to load the image in. It's going to pull the image onto this template, and then it's going to resize and place exactly where we want it to go. So this particular player, see right here on the bottom right, it's spa player mode 1. Okay, this is my player. I can turn it on and off. but I have it in my subject image folder, which has this little mask gradient so that it hides the legs and the feet because that's the feel that I want to have. This tool is going to be even more powerful than the background swapper because the background swapper, if you've seen that video or if you're not familiar with it, it will load a background image and it'll just take the extraction and put it right on top and save it off. This one will maintain all the layers because it's all Photoshop driven, which is all Photoshop driven, but this will actually take that extraction, it will place it where you tell it. Even if your images are off centered or anything, it will center it up. It'll put the head, the face right there in that square. It'll resize the head so the head fills that square because you don't want a little bitty body on our extraction. It's not going to work. So if it's too small, it'll make it bigger. If it's too big, it'll shrink it down until it fits exactly how you have it here. On top of that, it's not just going to place it on top of all the layers. We have told it where we want this player to go. It's going to replace this layer with our extraction. So it's going to be embedded down here in our subject image folder. And that's very important because it'll allow you to get a much cleaner run and finished product by using this versus using the background swapper. Background swapper, like I said, just puts it on top and saves it off. It's not a smart plugin. This one though is amazing. So we'll go back to batch processing. So I got my player images folder, I have my save folder, and I have my template. Now I'm gonna pause it so that we can just see the first, and then we're just gonna hit run batch. And the pause means at the very end, once it places everything, it's gonna pause. So you can review. And this is a good time where you can actually move it around, be like, okay, I don't, if you do want to fix anything, but this is really just for the review process. Because eventually, if this looks good, like, yeah, I'm happy with that. I like the size, I like the placement. I'm going to hit continue with no more pauses. I can just hit continue. It'll save this one off and load the next one. It'll stop again. But I'm comfortable when we only got 3 images. But even if I had 1,000 images, I like how this looks. I'll hit no more pauses, hit yes. Now I can just go about my day. I have another PC, which I do, you see in the background. This is where I will start working on another job while this does all the heavy lifting for me. So I don't have to sit here and babysit it. So now if I go to the export, I can see I have my images here. And you notice that the placement of the faces are all the same. The size of the players are the same. Or actually, the size of the faces are the same. Because obviously this kid is smaller. Oop, this kid is shorter. So you'll see more of his legs. His face is the same size. And that's what it's doing. It's sizing the extract until the face fits in that red box. So that's all we're going to do today. This is really meant to just be a brief overview and introduction to the Sports Photo Automation plugin. I'm going to continue to make more tutorials. They'll be coming very soon. And what we're going to do is we're really going to expand on how powerful this tool can be and how it can really streamline your process. Because that's what Photo Day Zombies is all about. We don't want you feeling like a zombie at the end of your post-production composition run. So stay tuned. Until next time.